You know, I gotta say, man, it's been an interesting few hours, maybe 24, 48 hours when it comes to wrestling. And, I just find it funny. So, on Monday Night Raw last night, when WWE pretty much jerked the fans off all night in this very just damn near odd angle of Becky trying to apologize and everyone telling her apologize all night just so we can get Vince McMahon to troll everybody online and everybody just in just to WWE right now to add Charlotte to the match at WrestleMania. And I just found it hilarious to me because I cracked up laughing when he did that last night, which I know it's not technically officially a triple threat match, but you all know it's going to be a triple threat match. I've said this for a while now, okay? It was going to happen, and there you go. It's just it's funny of the reaction of when it was announced to be a triple threat match. I would have been fine either way if it was a one-on-one in that, but before I get into that, for SmackDown review in general, since we are back again, one thing I do want to address before moving on with the show, just address the passing of Pedro Morales. I believe he was 76 years old. I never really pretty much never really knew who Pedro Morales. I don't know if I've ever seen a guy wrestle. Listen, I wasn't around during that time, but I do know he was the first ever, especially in the WWF, to become the first ever Triple Crown champion of winning the WWF title, the Intercontinental, and the Tag Team Championships. One of the longest reigning WWF champions of all time. I believe he was ranked number 5 with over 1,027 days, if I'm correct. I'm not really sure if I'm right on that. I have to check the number, but I know he is one of the longest champions. Like I said, it's unfortunate. What I read today, I never really grew up in that era, but I've always heard the name here and there. I've done my research a little, but I just kind of want to bring that up first. So rest in peace, Pedro Morales. But we did kick off the show as they pretty much played the exact clip from last night of Vince McMahon announcing Charlotte to be in the match. We brought Charlotte out next in, which I just found it funny in this promo. This was heel Charlotte, by the way. Let's point this out. We were in Toledo, Ohio tonight, which this crowd was better than Grand Rapids, I will say that. This was a better crowd. Of course, she will get some boos coming out there, but Charlotte pretty much said, since day one that she told everybody this was her destiny. Let's all point at the WrestleMania sign. But she went on to say that her heart breaks for Becky, but it really doesn't. That she thought she taught Becky better than to get suspended. But here we are again, just like what happened before Survivor Series. Becky got hurt going to attack Raw, and now I've been chosen to battle the myth of the man. And, pretty much talk to the crowd that she is the backbone of the women's division, and she is a winner. May have a point there. And she pretty much mentioned that, Ms. McMahon did not choose her because she's a favorite, but this was a great and a very smart business decision, okay? Of course, the crowd tried to boo, but she started doing what chants at him in a way which was pretty funny, and that Ms. McMahon chose her to be the main event of WrestleMania, if that's the main event of WrestleMania. It's like I said before already. It's like it's one week they say Seth's the main event, and next week it's Becky and them the main event, or like I said, they say the Universal title is the main event, or Raw Women's title is the main event. I don't know. We just have to find out and see, because they just kind of switch it here and there, trying to say this one's the main event, this one's the main event, that one's the main event, this other one is the main event. We won't really know until WrestleMania happens. I know everyone's saying it's the main event, but hey, we just have to wait on and see. But pretty much she said that, this is one of the most important matches of the year, and we can't risk it on a flash and pan like Becky Lynch, and that she's going to end WrestleMania like all the other pay-per-views she has ended. And, with her just standing tall and the fans chanting, "This is awesome" in the match, which she is, right? These fans are going to chant, "This is awesome" during this match. So expect for that to go down. You're going to hear those chants because I'm sure it's going to be a great match. But she dedicated her match to, Becky, and that she told Ronda Rousey that I'm going to beat her this Sunday at the Elimination Chamber, front row tickets to see you go against Ruby Riott. And that she's not going to interfere, but we could have a new opponent at WrestleMania. And then someone said in the crowd, she told him to shut up, and they kept chanting, "You suck," and she said, what, woo, and walked off. So heel Charlotte is back. I loved the promo. I thought it was pretty funny. It was great. I know this story is all over the place of, just from people being added into the match or not added into the match, or why did we really need to see Becky versus the Authority? I feel like we get a lot of these storylines every year. WrestleMania now, with someone has to fight Triple H and Stephanie to get their match at WrestleMania. I feel like this has kind of gone to a holding pattern now when you think about it. So, it's the story's been all over the place of who's gonna be in it and who's not, and I'm sure there's more where it's gonna get crazy. Listen, don't be surprised if Becky Lynch shows up this Sunday Elimination Chamber and attacks Charlotte, and she's going to show up for several more weeks on either Raw or SmackDown until she gets her match back at WrestleMania, which I'm sure she's going to interrupt Ric Flair's, birthday thing in the next 2 weeks. Since that's why he's on TV, because that's going to happen. And she'll probably crash the party, or I don't know who will be the guest. Maybe the Four Horsemen will be there. I don't know what will happen during that time, okay? But expect it to go down. Like, what's gonna happen, and she'll probably attack Ric Flair, and we'll go on from that. I'd rather just have Ric Flair come out, cut some scathing promo, and throw his jacket on the ground and bleed and say woo. But they're not going to do that though. So how this company works at the time. Like I said, I get tired of the whole crying Ric Flair thing, but this is probably going to lead into that, and it probably be a match at Fastlane for all I know, and just to see how Becky will get her match back in the WrestleMania, and it'll just be officially a triple threat match from there. We all know this match is going to happen for many reasons. Why? Because they want Charlotte in there, because this is them in general, and they just have to have her, and that she is there to absorb the boos from Ronda at WrestleMania, so she does not get booed out of the building. We can put those boos somewhere else. Listen, we all most likely know Becky's gonna win. This is just, I guess, to gain sympathy, since she is taken out of the match temporarily right now until she is added back into the match at WrestleMania. But this is most likely to gain sympathy, and she will win, which I may take a guess on this, but what if they just have her pin Charlotte, or I don't know, tap out Charlotte, so they can protect Ronda and not have her lose or anything from now? Or they may do it with Ronda. I don't know. I'm just taking a guess right now, but they would do something to protect Ronda by having Charlotte get pinned or not. But she is kind of there to absorb the boos from Charlotte's there to absorb the boos from Ronda, so they can somewhat focus their shift on someone else right now. But like I said, it's gonna be a lot of this leading into WrestleMania, so I'm just taking some guesses, which could most likely happen when you think about it, before we get closer and closer, and they're gonna use Fastlane for it. So like I said before, I was never really surprised when Charlotte was added to this match, but hey, we get heel Charlotte back, and she was really great on the mic, and I thought it was funny too. Like they chant, "You suck." What? Okay, woo, there you go. So like I said, Charlotte, pretty good promo out there. We then went to the exact same match we saw last week on SmackDown. Why we need to see again, I don't know, but this was to determine whoever loses will be the first ones into the Elimination Chamber, as they did show some couple little video packages, well, not video packages, but a little quick interviews with the Iconics and Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, Fire and Desire, since they're on the Elimination Chamber, to crown the first women's tag champions, which I believe that is not true, because there were women's tag champs a very, very long time ago. You gotta do your research. I don't really remember what year, but I believe this company has already had women's tag team champions, but that was a very long time ago. But hey, WWE can very keep up on its own history half the time on what they put out there. So if they want to say it's the first, then that's them. But sometimes you gotta do your research to know who the first ever women's tag champs are, because they actually were women's tag champs back then, but you just really gotta look deep. You really got to do your research and look far. But I didn't understand why we need to see the same tag match we saw last week. Was it a little better? Yeah, it pretty much ended with Naomi hitting a split-legged moonsault on Mandy Rose for the win. Of course, they kind of then attacked after. I don't really think any of these women are going to win, but I guess since Mandy Rose took the pinfall here, her and Deville will be going against Sasha and Bayley first into the Elimination Chamber since they both lost their matches. I don't know if Sasha's even going to be in the match in that, since they keep talking about this injury allegedly was happening. She did not really compete on Raw last night in general, and even the week before. So I don't know how bad her injury is on that, or will she be in the Elimination Chamber match? I'm assuming she will, but I guess we're just going to have to... I guess we're going to just have to wait and see. Excuse me. I guess we'll have to wait and see until it happens. That's what I can go off from there, since if Charlotte will be, not Charlotte, but if Sasha Banks will be in the match. But like I said, the way they've booked this whole women's tag title thing, it's just like, I've said it before, if it were up to me, I would have did a tournament, but that's just too much work for WWE, so let's just all throw them in the Elimination Chamber and hope for the best then. Like I said, do I still think Sasha and Bayley are winning? Most likely, in my opinion, but then again, this company probably fuck around and put the belts on Nia Jax and Tamina for all I know. Even the post interviews they did, I didn't understand some of them, because like some of them just looked either weird or ridiculous at one point. I will say Sarah Logan didn't come off as that bad on the mic like she's had before. I didn't get Tamina and Nia Jax because it looked like Tamina was trying to say the same thing Nia Jax said, but like at the same time really fast. I don't know, something odd about it. I kept looking at that promo for a second, like, is she trying to repeat or something? Like, I don't know. They then went to a Mustafa Ali promo, which he will not be in the Elimination Chamber match this Sunday. I don't know if that's due to the injury of his eye last week during that match with Orton, and or it was, I believe, a different injury over the weekend. And that I already knew the reports a couple days ago that Mustafa Ali was taken out of the match, and I guess people wonder who was going to be his replacement. He did have like a pre-tape promo, pretty much saying, he can be put down, but he will not stay down, and he will find a way to get a W title shot, because he said the Elimination Chamber was his time, but he will be back soon. I don't know how bad his injury is, but I'm assuming he will be back soon, but he was taken out of the Elimination Chamber match. We then went to McMiz TV, as they want to put over the Toledo crowd out there. Miz talking about his photo show for Miz and Mrs. and excuse me. A show for Miz and Mrs. and Shane's out there filming for an episode of NCIS LA. But as they talked about them being the tag team champions, they brought out the Usos then, which the Usos did not want to sit down and looked at them. Usos were over here, and they said, y'all just trying to be us. But Shane said, we're the best tag team in the world. And said, but one Uso says, y'all rode together, y'all worked together, y'all worked out, y'all ate, bathed together. At one point he brought up too, and said, how about we take a tag team test? Now let's ask some questions to each other, huh? I guess Jimmy asked his brother Jay, what's your favorite color? Red. What's your favorite food? Pepperoni pizza. But Miz and Shane did not like what was going on, and I guess Miz just kind of snuck his ear into Shane, telling him what to say. What's your favorite color? Blue. What's your favorite minor league baseball team? The the Toledo Mudcaps or something in Ohio. I'm not sure what the team name was, but they were just trying to put over the crowd right now, bringing up their whatever in their city. Miz didn't try to talk about Mandy Rose to Jimmy Uso, which the Usos kind of got mad there, and Shane McMahon pretty much said he was going to hit Jimmy so hard that Jay's going to feel it. Jay slapped the mic out of Miz's hand. They pretty much went face to face with each other, and they held the titles up. Usos pretty much didn't hit a double super kick on both of those guys. Excuse me. Which tells me now, I don't want to say the Usos are going to lose, but I feel like Miz and Shane are going to react, just giving off this is a go-home show and that Usos drew the first strike here. I could be wrong in that, but I feel like Shane and Miz are going to hold the titles unless they're going to end it now, and whatever leads into that match at WrestleMania. I don't want to see the WrestleMania, but it's going to happen between the Miz and Shane McMahon. So expect one of them to turn on each other soon. Maybe it is a Sunday. I don't know if it will be a net, but like I said, this promo was just kind of whatever was going on from there. We then went to the main event, which pretty much took the rest of the entire show, a Gauntlet match whoever wins this gauntlet match will be the last person in the Elimination Chamber. We kicked it off with Daniel Bryan, and he cut a promo telling the fans fickle and that he is the truth, and that he was going to tell them how to lead their pathetic lives. As he talked about, he did not want to be in the Elimination Chamber match because it was, painful, horrible, and can shorten someone's career. But someone need to be sacrificed, as he said. Next, the New Day's music hit, since one of them were going to be replacing Mustafa Ali. Of course, they teased Big E and Woods, but I figured it'd be Kofi Kingston because it's Kofi, to be honest, and that guy deserves a title shot. But we did have a very, very, very great match between Kofi and Daniel Bryan, which was very enjoyable to watch because there was a lot of commercials in this, but this was a very enjoyable show. I did like one move I thought was kind of scary is when Bryan, I guess, was going to go for a back body drop on Kofi off the top rope, but Kofi kind of landed awkwardly on his head then. Like he landed on his head after that. Excuse me. Like I said, he landed on his head, but as the match pretty much went on, like I said, it was a very enjoyable match, I will say that, because Bryan did try to get Kofi with the lapel lock, but Kofi was able to get out of there to the ropes onto the floor. Then Bryan was still going at him, was Bryan, but pretty much as Bryan was going in, Kofi tried to get the upper hand, but Rowan got involved. Kofi and Woods and Big E had tried to help him, but they were thrown out. Pretty much Rowan then threw Kofi into the timekeeper's area, but the referee saw it, kicked Rowan out. Bryan tried to pretty much tell the referee to let him stay, but he didn't. He tried to go for the running knee, but out of nowhere, Trouble in Paradise pins the WWE champion. Kofi moves on through the gauntlet match. So I was surprised to see, like, oh shit, he beat the WWE champion. Okay, this is something to go with. But Kofi was really the Iron Man of here tonight, okay? And I'm going to get more into what I think about this gauntlet match and his longevity in there, because he put on a very great match with Daniel Bryan out there, and I feel like it was a big win for him, and he proved something out there tonight, especially to go against the WWE champion and everything, especially after beating the WWE champion right now, which was unexpected. He didn't win against Jeff Hardy, which there wasn't much to kind of say for that match there too. It was a good match, but Kofi once again, he dodged the twist of fate and he hit the SOS. Kofi moves on into the next round, goes against Samoa Joe. Joe was beating him a majority of this match, taking him out, trying to choke him, and even push him off the springboard thing onto the floor then. But when Joe had got him with a coquina clutch, which I just felt was a little ridiculous because Joe beats him up the whole match and still cannot win the match, and pretty much he had got the coquina clutch, but Kofi pretty much used his legs to bounce off the top rope and get the roll-up pinfall for the win. Once again, Kofi, again, the Iron Man, which is already over 40 minutes in this match, but Joe was pissed. He pretty much went to Uranagi and started choking him out to the ground. AJ Styles didn't make the save as he tried to help Kofi up and ask if he was all right. So Kofi just being the guy right now, kicking everybody's ass. Okay, there you go. But as Styles tried to ask Kofi if he wanted to do this and that, Kofi got pissed. Telling him, "Let's do this thing. Let's do it. I've been waiting for this." Kofi then had won against AJ, which was turned out really good. Kofi had fought as much as he could out there, especially to a nasty spot where they were on the apron of the ring. Kofi tried to charge it to him, hits both his knees on the ring post end. He got back in at the 10 count, but AJ, if AJ just head scissors and everything, Kofi then pretty much hit a calf killer on Kofi Kingston, making him tap out, which pretty much put Kofi over 60 minutes. So he was the Iron Man of this match, surviving over an hour in this gauntlet match. But since we were running low on time on this show and we were near the end, as soon as the New Day helped Kofi into the back, Randy Orton's music hits. I'm not gonna restart this, but Randy Orton's music hits. He pretty much hits a RKO that ends the show. From there, 5 seconds, Orton is in the last one, Elimination Chamber. Like I said, a very, very enjoyable match. I loved it. It was a really great. I can't really say that much bad about it. Now, was this for Mustafa Ali?
Could be, for all I know, if true, since Mustafa's out, was Kofi the one to take that Iron Man spot of surviving the thing? Because it would have been done the same with Mustafa Ali to gain a major, a big player in this match. But Kofi did really good. I hear some people comparing this. Is this downplaying what Seth Rollins did last year when he was in the before the Elimination Chamber? It was in a gauntlet match and lasted over 65 minutes in it. Could it be? Maybe when you look at the comparisons, but this is Smackdown. It was only a 2-hour show also, but I see what people are talking about in a way. But Kofi was the Iron Man, and he was great. So I'm glad he's in the chamber now, just for that showing he put on tonight out there on SmackDown. It was really great. So I really like this SmackDown episode. SmackDown, of course, the Gauntlet match. Heel Charlotte is great, and those are really the two things I could say. I didn't really care about Miz TV that much, and I saw that same triple threat women's tag from last week. It only determined who's going to be first in the chamber this time, so there you go. But this is like my review of SmackDown. Like I said, it was very, very enjoyable show. Especially the Gauntlet match. That was mostly the biggest thing to look at, was the Gauntlet Century match. Took out over the entire hour of the show, and Randy Orton just hit 5-second RKO to be the last one in the match out of nowhere. But I would say Kofi got a really great due out there, being in the Gauntlet match, being the Iron Man at lasting over 60 minutes. So I did enjoy it. So, like I said, very great episode of SmackDown. And, comment, subscribe. One thing I do want to address before I go out of there, I will say one thing I am surprised that Jay White won the IWGP Heavyweight Championship from Tanahashi. I saw yesterday. I'm surprised he is the champion. I'm very surprised. I don't know where this goes, but I feel like it's going to lead to the G1 Supercard, to whoever his opponent will be. I'm assuming whoever wins the New Japan Cup. Well, we shall see. But I was very shocked to see that he won World Heavyweight Championship, especially that early, like very early. Like, don't talk about push for that. They'll really push this guy. I will say that. But before I do go, I did kind of put this in the graphic for SmackDown. I know you're going to see a little birthday hat. It's not today, but by midnight or whenever this video shows up tomorrow, it will be my birthday tomorrow. I will say that. So yeah, tomorrow will be technically my birthday when the clock strikes midnight. All right. So I kind of want a little birthday thing at the graphic. Say, if you want to wish happy birthday, I really appreciate it if you do. I like it if you do. If you want to though, wish me happy birthday. Everything, since it is tomorrow and stuff. So yeah, but I hope I have a great day tomorrow. I really do. Hopefully, if I do get a gift, I hope I get Resident Evil 2. I don't know. I'm just kind of taking a guess right now, but I just kind of want to say my birthday is tomorrow though. But I am done with this review of SmackDown. I am out here. I will see you guys later. This microphone is starting to mess with me because my voice may sound different right now, because I don't know if it was later in the review this happened. But yeah, I'm out here. I'll see you guys later. Peace out.